And welcome. I have finally picked up Lego set number 31142, which is a 3-in-1 creator set. So we've got a lot of bits and pieces to go over with this amazing box artwork and figure out what one we're going to build first. More than likely it is going to be the track roller coaster, but the title will give that away anyway. Now this is brand new to me, so what we'll do as normal is we'll rip it open. It has got a double push tab at the bottom. Get this open and then we'll see what is on the inside, and then we'll see exactly what we've got. So we have got plenty of roller coaster tracks. And luckily the bags are individually numbered. Sometimes I think on the 3-in-1 sets they leave you to your own devices. So there's more track. Bag 4, that's a 7, that's a 2. That is one very, very heavy booklet, which we'll be going through sooner rather than later. And that is all the rest of the bits and pieces. So what we'll do as normal is we'll take a good look at the box artwork before we tuck into all the other bits and pieces. So first thing first, we'll tuck into the really nice box artwork. So you can see it says Lego Create, it's set nice and simple, and then you've got the nice big space rocket up at the top. Not too sure how big this is actually going to be. I am going to put this up in the new display area that we've got going up in the Lego room, but you can see it's 9+ set number 31142. Now it does say batteries are included because you do have a brick light. Now the brick light gets used differently depending on what build you are doing. So you can see that you might have some little Easter eggs and bits and pieces across from the back. So you've got like this little space rocket, for example, and then you can see you've got the little aliens and everything in there. So the box artwork does have a fair bit of detail. Now these are the other two builds that you can do. I've already been told I need all 3 of these in my theme park area, because that is what I do. I have a massive theme park landing. Obviously I check out all the other theme parks around the world, and what we are thinking of doing is also getting all of the other Lego Creator City sets as well from the NASA space theme, and then making a huge space land. So let us know in the comments below if you've got any ideas, but we'll stick to this one for now. Now coming up and across from the top, you can see again just how big that track looks like. It looks like it's going to be a good size. I've got to figure out how we're going to do the queue line and everything with it, and it does look like you've got your own little mini ride, so hopefully we'll have some good look in the instruction booklet. Then we've got a drop tower, which is always good looking. And then over on this side then you've got the little UFO bit, but again it's got its own little queue line, so it's perfect for me, and it's got its own little game there. It does look like it's got a little baby space person rocket minifigure as well, which is nice. And then you've got a 1-to-1 scale just on that. So that's what it looks like up at the top. That is what it looks like if it's on the side of the box, and that's what it looks like on the shelf if it is underneath. Now going to the back of the box, he says this is what this looks like. So again, bigger picture of everything just up at the top, so it's a larger thing. It does say brick light included, so obviously if you wanted to you can get yourself some more of these lights and make it more bright, but you can see just in there that is where that brick light gets used for that one. And I'm assuming for the one that we're going to be building, which is a big track to start with, it's going to be this one just here. And then you do have a little baby minifigure just in there, so that's my first little Lego space person for the little baby. And then through range we have then got the really nice looking drop down. I'm intrigued to see how tall this actually is and how this compares to all the other little bits and pieces. So that is the box done and out the way. Now there's one bag that has already fallen off the table, but I'm not picking it up. But you can see just how many bags there are, and I do believe there's just one of each. And then you've got the odd face plate, which is nice and simple. And then just to the left hand side, that is where all the track and everything is. So that's what all of these are in this bag just here. Now moving on to the instruction booklet. I've just cleared all the bags when I'm throwing in. Now obviously it's like I said, it's all brand new. So you have this, which is all now recyclable, so they have changed everything ever so slightly. Now are there going to be hopefully 3 individual booklets? Let's have a look. I've made a right meal of that, and yes there is. It does look like there's 3 of them, so this is what they will look like. Let's spin them around one then the other. So the first one is the one that we're after. Perfect. So that is the one that we're going to be doing anyway, so that is one big booklet. Next one is a slightly smaller booklet, which is what that is. I'll save this for a completely different upload, so I won't bore you with everything. And then we have that one as well, so at least we know what is to come in the future videos. And I will try and have all of these coming quite close together, but like I said, you can see by the thickness of that booklet that this looks like it's the biggest. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how far off you are piecewise from being able to build these two, because I think both of those booklets together is about the same thickness as this one. So that's always nice to see. But we'll tuck in to the main booklet that we're going to be doing, and obviously this looks like it's the main build as well. So again, Lego Creator Set 31142, 3-in-1 set. Now as they have been doing with all of the other little bits and pieces, they are really advertising this whole sort of paper bag scenario, and they're trying to get rid of all the plastic bits and pieces on the inside, so that has to happen sooner rather than later, I'm sure. But what I am worried about is we're going to lose the instruction booklets completely. They've changed the paper quality, they keep changing that, and also you can imagine how much money they would save if everything went digital, but it is what it is. Some people prefer it, some people don't. It's not something that I would really want to do, because it means then I'd have to have another tablet set up, and I just don't want to be looking at screens all the time. So bag number 1 and bag number 2, it looks like you've got the base of the track, so that looks like it's going to be quite interesting, because bag 1 and 2, and then the track, obviously all this track is in a separate bag anyway, so I wonder if you have to open up both bags in one, or it's just going to be one bag then the other. I'm hoping that's the case, because I like doing these builds in bite-sized chunks. 3 and 4, there we go, that is nice and simple. And then over to this side, 5 and 6, and then we have that bit built, and then we've got the other base on that bit, so that looks nice and smart. 7, 8, 9, it looks like it finishes it off, so that is simple enough. And you do have to mix bag number 1 and bag number 2 with the track. So that is never fun for me, because I never have the space, because it is what it is. Little baby minifigure, looks cute, and then parent, looks good, nice hairpiece. Straight in on page number 8 and step number 1, it looks like you build the ride first, skip all the way to the end like we do normally. What are the bits and pieces that are out? Are they going to advertise a lot of the 3-in-1 sets? You've got the parrot, you've got this thing. Now this really does look nice, and you can build this in different ways, and obviously that's the one that I've just picked up. Coming in, yes, they do have some more 3-in-1s as well. So you've got the space rocket, you've got the bike, you have got the camper. Now that's something that's caught my eye for a while. I might have to pick that up at some point if we're going to add like a beachy area into our theme park, especially with the lighthouse. And then you've got all these other little bits and pieces. Now depending on how much I get my teeth sunk into this, and I start doing all of the displays again in the actual Lego room, the Loop roller coaster might be making an appearance sooner rather than later, because I know exactly what I'm like. But I don't want to give anything away too much. I thought it was the case. So you've got to mix all 7 bags, so that's all 800 and something pieces, and then pick and choose how you're going to do it that way. So that is the good fun with the 3-in-1s. You've got the main build where it's easy enough to do, and then what I've got to do is take it apart completely and then just mix and match it for all of these. And I would imagine for the UFO it'll be exactly the same. Just dump all 7 in there, and then you can see you've got all the minifigures that we've already done as well. So it's going to be a fruity one over the next couple of uploads, but what we will do is we'll get tucked into the main build now. And just like that, we are done, and this thing is packed full of detail. There's so much to take and have a look at. There's lots of little different bits and pieces I didn't actually realise were in there, to be honest, like the research lab at the top, for example, and then the little alien that is just there. So we're going to go through and dissect this set bit by bit, then we'll do a big comparison, and then at the end we'll take a good look at all of these minifigures. They have got dual faces and really nice torso prints. First thing we'll start with is a little mini build with the little baby. So we'll have a look at both of these side by side. So we'll take a look at that little thing first. Look how cute this little thing is, with all of the little space bit on the top, and then you've got this little space pack on the back, and it is just one solid piece. Nothing moves. It is just a tiny little baby, and then that little baby will sit on this little thing. Now this little thing was the first thing that you built. Nice little bit of detail. You've got the lights and everything just up at the top on the side, and then as you spin it round you can then move him about, and he will rock and rotate. So there we go. So that is how it will work with regards to the Technic piece. If I do it back on, there you go, that's a little bit better with my arm out the way, so all the way over and round, and the minifigure will, and the little one will sit in there. I'm not too sure actually if the adults will actually sit in there. Let's have a look. So yes, you can fit an adult in there if you wanted to, and obviously it is meant for the little teeny tiny one, but that is a really nice looking thing, and it's a nice little build actually. So obviously when it's all tiled up in the theme park with regards to everybody walking underneath, and I've added in all of the other sort of space bits and pieces as well, I think this is going to be a really nice new addition to a land that's going to be going in my theme park. Now moving on to the main set itself, there's lots of detail. Starting with the space sign. Now this actually looks like it's supposed to be the Q line, but it isn't. It does allow you actually though to put some base plates down at the bottom. You could probably put two 32 by 32s or a 16 by 16 if you wanted to. So that is just there literally for show. Now what I really like about all of these roller coaster bits and pieces is all of the little hidden detail that's in it. So you've got this little thing here. This was a nice little build actually. You've got all the bits and pieces that move across. and then you have the nice camera. Now, I know I said when I was starting to film this yesterday that I will be taking this apart to rebuild one of those two on the box. I am just going to buy another one. I am not taking this apart to redo it because there's so much detail and it'll take me forever to take apart. And I will at some point get another one, and then I'll do a poll of what you think will be better, the UFO or the Space Tower drop. Now, talking of Space Tower, yes, that is a nice big rocket, and it does have the really nice translucent pieces within it. Now, what I will need to do, in fact, I think I'll do that first, as it's starting to get a little bit darker, is show you the glow in the dark pieces and also the light itself. So it's not quite dark enough for the glow in the dark, that's why the camera's struggling, but what we've got just here is that. I think that looks really, really effective. So you can obviously do those in different bits, and you can rotate it and it holds itself. So that is a nice strong light brick, and it's a red one. So something slightly different, so you can pick and choose which way you want to do it. So if you didn't want to eat into any more space, then you can obviously just have it going that way, and then you just push down and go through. Does not make a difference at all with regards to how you have it for the track. Right, lights back on, it's not going to be juddering anymore. Now the next little bit of detail after this, so this is the bit that we're looking at. Again, put it wherever you want to in case it wasn't coming through clearly enough, because I never know until it's edited. You then got this really nice thing. So again, all moves about, you can do some different bits and pieces with it, and there is opportunity to sort of horrify it up and to do whatever it is that you want to do. Now you've got another piece just up here with another rocket that moves on that bit, and then as you come through and down, these are the glow in the glow in the dark dots. So the little studs just here, which is a nice little element. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think there's 9 of them, and you do get 1 or 2 spare pieces, which I will show you in a second, the spare pieces that you got. So going on with that camera, you can see what you'll be able to do. So how this comes through and round, you go around the track all the way through like so. In fact, let's see how smoothly this runs. I'm yet to do this. So obviously it's not motored, but you can do it. Now, is it going to drop under its own power? It would have done, but the box was in the way, so it will come back down and then it comes back to the start. So there we go. So that is exactly how it works. So if you want to, I guess, and you can sort of either get a motor bit on there or start getting creative with a little bit of Technic, you'll be absolutely fine with regards to sort of having this moving around. Now, detail on the back of this, really nice. You can pick and choose the angle that you want to do with this. Everything moves on this, which is a really, really nice touch. Now, what I will need to do, talking of moving, is I need to move this around so we can have a slightly better look. Now, this is not what we're after, so I now need to get this bit back out of the way. So now this is going to fall back on us. We need to look at what is supposed to be, I would imagine, the queue line. So this is obviously the walkway on to the actual ride itself. So walking through, so the actual way on to the ride is actually behind it. So if we spin it around like so, you can see that we have got this bit just here, and then you've got another bit where you can walk through the gates, as I've just set that off. So that's gone shooting around. So yes, it does go around the track very, very freely, so that's okay. And then as we come through, you will then walk over here, so you can put a minifigure where my finger is just there. You can put another minifigure here, and then another one there, and then it can walk through and go in through that bit, which I think is a really nice thing. Now, again, you can do what you want to with that. You can increase the queue line if you want to. I am going to buy the actual research base, which is the exact this but larger, and it actually has this at the top, I do believe, and I could double it up as a restaurant area, I think, because this is a really nice thing. So you've got a little bit of research going on just on the inside. So again, this could link in to some different bits and pieces that we might be doing within the theme park. It's all going to get a full redo when this starts to go in, because there is massive issues. That's why I'm doing the bits and pieces down here to start with, but that is the detail from the front of that, so I think that looks really smart. Now, the other bits and pieces that I really like is actually all the rock faces and things. You've got lots of little rocks and all the moony bits, all that you've got to do all on these bits, and you've got all these little tiles and everything that go across the bottom. And you can see here, this is the sort of the little bit that is on the current. So as from the upload of this, the main lunar base or research base is actually in a sale, and it just happens to be almost like for like for theming. And what I mean by that, it is more research stuff with regards to like all growing greenery and things like that, which is always nice. Now again, you've got a figure of 8 shape, so we take a quick stand up. That is what it is like. It is a big thing, so it's going to cover a fair bit of ground, and again, it moves around nice and easy. So I can get this up to the top There you go. So it does come down with some pace. You can see how smoothly that works. I do like the fact that they are now doing all the roller coaster track in completely different colours. This really, really wants me to get the loop roller coaster now, which is always a bad thing. This is another little detail. So we have this thing just in here. I think this one spins around. Yes, it does. So you can see you've got the little lunar rover, which is basically the smaller version of this. So spoiler alert, this is coming in a completely different video. This is going to be added into my theming. And you've got these bits where it attaches through off onto this. So there's lots of stuff that we can try and get creative with on this, but I think that is what that is. So all of this, so that's a smaller set that's out at the moment, that is a smaller set that's out at the moment, and again you can move all of these bits and pieces about, which is always a really nice touch. Now I don't think I've missed anything, but you have got, as it's spin it around for the final time, a lot of opportunity to add more detail in if you wanted to. You can get really creative with the queue line. You can put all sorts of different base plates around it. So the footprint of this, you have got a lot you can do, and obviously you've got to then try and get the queue in from the back, so that's always going to have to wrap around somewhere. So that's why I want the other thing. Now the last thing is just this, where you've got this little piece just here, which is not, again, a really nice little build, and hopefully it's picking it up nicely on the lighting, that you've got this sort of metal flake just on the inside of this one, and again it is on the inside of that one as well. So I think that looks really, really smart. And again, that is the bit of a better look of what it looks like from the back. Now, get this back through and over, and then what we will do is we'll take a quick look at all of these amazing minifigures. Now what I want to do is I don't want the box to drop off, so we'll keep that tucked in just there. That will stop that from falling off. Now we should have enough room, if we put this at the angle, to go through all the minifigures. So minifigure number one, obviously we've seen this teeny tiny little one, so the camera's picking up on that one fine, so that's absolutely perfect. Next one, as you're going to see the theme on this, you've got all these different little space suits, which I think look really, really nice and effective. So again, what you have on this one, I'm not too sure if this is a dual mold, but I have got this t-shirt for an adult, so it's quite nice to have it as a little one as well. But let's have a look at the headpiece. Yes, so there's two faces on this one, so you've got the really nice sort of shocked face, and then you've got this one where you've just got the nice happy one, so depending on the getting on the ride or getting off the ride, and it's just nice for photos as well, so you can get some really nice photos. So again, that is number two. Number three, I don't know if they're brother and sister, but they are both little uns, because they both have the teeny tiny legs, as you can see. So I'm not too sure if they are supposed to be a family of three, because you only get one parent as well, which is this parent just here. So maybe it's one large family walking around, or you've just got two friends going on there, whatever. You can make up your own stories with that one. So this t-shirt I really do like. You can see you've got all the nice detail, all the nice colour of the space person at the top. So you've got the white space person, and then if you can see it through the camera, you've got the exact same space silhouette in the blue, yellow and red, which is a really, really nice sort of throwback to one of the sets that have come out. And then on the back you've just got the crease on the t-shirt. Plonk his hair off again. You've got the nice facial expression just on their backs, and then you've got the happy one with sort of the two teeth just on the... So I think, again, it looks very, very effective on that one. Now, moving on to, I think, is the dad for the little child. So I think they're definitely dad and little, only because they are pictured and he is basically pushing the thing on the box. Now, I think this one is very, very similar to the head and the torso print that came with the red roller coaster, because if I remember rightly, I think he's got a puking face on the back. Yes, so he's got a puking face just on the back, just there. So they're always handy to have, so you can have them dotted around all the theme park, and obviously have them bent over and chundering away. So if you wanted to sort of set something up with a bit of a pizza on the floor, you can do, depending on how creative you want to get in your own theme park display. But we have all of this to come, especially with all the Universal trips that are coming up and more Legoland trips that are coming. I really want to sort of get involved and attack it a little bit more with regards to my own area as well. Now, moving on to the Lunar Team research people. So, obviously, because it is a ride, you have got what I do believe is the ride operator, which is this lady just here. Now, she does look very, very effective. So you can see you've got all of the really nice blue on here. And then you've got what I do believe is obviously some sort of variation of a badge just on the wings on the top left. Nice zip. with regards to the black and the slightly different blue that just goes across the top. Now again, hairpiece is nice, glasses look fine, everything's nice. It's a really nice strong colour, and I think she's just a single face on this one, and then you've just got the normal creases and cracks and everything just across the back. So it does look very, very effective for her. And then the next one, I do think, has one of a very, very nice torso print, which is this lady here. Now, weirdly, on the box, she is actually supposed to be up on here doing some sort of space recovery, so it almost makes it out that she's part of the ride, this bit just down here, and she's holding on to what is this telephone piece, because she does come with an absolutely enormous suit. So you've got this thing just here, this thing's massive, and then you've got the blasters and everything at the back. This is one solid piece. I didn't build any of that whatsoever, and yes, this bit will flop open, I think he says. No, again, that is solid, so that is just, you can put that on any minifigure that you want to, but it is a large thing. So if you were to take her hairpiece off and then put her head in, that is how big it is. It is massive. So it's not a waste of a minifigure, but I wouldn't, not really going to have her attached up on here like they've got in the box, because that to me makes it out that she's supposed to be like an animatronic rather than an actual minifigure. So I think what I'd do is I'll just put the suit somewhere, and then she can just be walking around, I think, by the queue. Now, starting off with the face, she has got a dual mould on the front, or dual print, shall I say, which again is nice. So you've got the happy face on there, and then you've got the even cheekier one on the back, which is always nice to see. Now, with the torso print, I think this is one of the first ones that I've got, which is a proper grey white sort of print with the actual rocket symbol going around the globe. So this is a new one to me. I've not seen one with this sort of grey effect on it, and then you've got the really nice white with the blue. So if you have got this minifigure, let us know what set it came with, because obviously there's so many different space and NASA sets out and available. And then on the back, I think, again, it's got a really, really nice shine. I think it's really, really effective on the back of this. Now, I'm going to try and grab one or two bits and pieces to compare it to. Obviously, all the bits and pieces are in the main Lego room, so ideally what I'd want to do is compare this to the red roller coaster, and then as and when I get the blue roller coaster, compare it to that just for size and scale. But for now, we'll compare it just to a couple of vehicles, just so you can see how big this thing actually is. First thing we'll compare it to is the full-size X-Con wagon. Now that looks absolutely perfectly in proportion with that coaster track. This, again, it is a large thing. I don't think it justifies how big this thing is on the box, to be honest. You do need a good amount of space, but I think it does look very, very effective. So again, putting the baby ride just beside this, it does work perfectly as like a little pay display. So obviously the ones that you just throw a bit of money in and they rock forward and backwards, we have a lot of those over in the UK, and I think they're very popular still over in the States as well. Now the other thing that I try and compare it to is the Disney train. A quick look at what this Disney one looks like, and I think it works fine. Again, just as a size thing, just try and help you guys and girls out. I haven't got any of the big buildings or the modular stuff down here, and the only stuff I've really got on that back shelf is just some of the larger action figures, so that's not going to work at all. But with regards to how they've got the spacing, where this train is at the moment, you can obviously do a good amount of sort of mocking and building and just create some sort of nice entrance or display. I think with regards to the size of this thing, it's going to work absolutely perfectly for what I need. But what I will do is I will, like I said, compare it to all of the other theme park stuff that I've got up there. So I've got a lot of, well, I've got Ferris wheels, I've got carousels, I've got the other roller coasters up there and some other little bits and pieces. I've got the haunted house. There's a lot of stuff that we compare it to, and also we can compare the minifigures from the sets as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that video. Now I think I'm going to display it how you can see it now, with the space at the slight angle and the queue line at the slight angle. So that is probably the shape that I'm going to go for it to be displayed, and these are the spare pieces. So you do get a good amount of different bits and pieces in there. So you get a spare eyeball, you can see that just there. You've got a flame, so you can, there's some one or two bits. You obviously get given quite a few technic bits and pieces there as well, because obviously some of it is held together, and it is very, very sturdy. Now I've got to carry this up a set of loft ladders, so that's going to be very, very interesting. So hopefully I don't end up smashing and destroying absolutely everything, but fingers crossed it'll be okay. So another quick look at all the spare pieces before we start to wrap it up, so I will spread them out for you a little bit easier. So there's only the one print, I do believe, which is the eyeball, and then there's another glow in the dark bit, which I'm just going to put straight on. I'm just going to randomly put it somewhere, because there's no need for that to be in the spare bit, so I've just thrown that over in that corner. But guys, I think that is it. I am done. So if you can like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let us know in the comments below what you think of this set, if you're going to get this set, and do you have any of the current Lego City Space sets, or if you're watching this from the future, have you got any of the sets that are out and about at the moment? So let us know what you think of it, let us know if you got it, and if you missed it, would you like to try and backtrack it? Because I can highly recommend this, and I am very intrigued to see what that drop tower's like. The UFO looks like a good bit of fun, but I think I might try and get the 3-in-1 UFO set and then maybe go for that drop tower as a second build, depending on how many pieces it uses up, and then it'd be interesting to see what is spare, because obviously by the look of that drop tower, there is no roller coaster track used, so does that mean we might be able to customise and make this slightly bigger, and then we'll have one larger space roller coaster and one drop tower? Keep your eyes peeled, we'll see what's what. But guys, again, as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I hope to catch you next one. Ta-da.